Hello everyone, and welcome back to Munch Media. Today, myself and Ralph are doing another Mini Munch. Hello, Ralph.
Mini Munch, 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 Mini Munch. Oi!
What are you munching on? Minis?
Pasta.
Do minis exist? Are minis like a food product of some sort?
Mini rolls.
Mini rolls? Ah, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, mini rolls.
I wonder if there's like actually something called Mini Munch though.
I hope not. Otherwise, we're getting sued.
They can sponsor us. It's okay. It can be a two-way branding deal. Do you think that's ever happened, or do you think you just get sued every time? Probably get sued every time.
It must happen at some point. I'm sure if I can Google this weird thing, I can find it. Yeah, I can't think of any time that that's happened. I bet it's happened with like musicians at some point.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you've got the same name as me. Let's form a kick-ass supergroup.
A kick-ass supergroup.
Yeah.
Is that their actual name? Kick-ass supergroup.
I would go and see a band called Kick-Ass Supergroup.
I would also go and see.
Especially if it was just like two middle-aged men who balding a bit and like both play keyboard.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be totally into that, dude. That's most like jazz musicians I've seen though. Like balding men. Like the ones that play in bars and stuff. Man, I do love a good jazzy bar, but it's always, like middle-aged balding men playing. It's pretty funny.
You should go to, I can't remember its name, but there was a jazz bar in Manchester that I went to once, and it was all like velvet red.
Oh.
You know, kind of very like alluring, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember walking in there and like realizing like, A, I'm really poor, and then B, like, man, this place is full of like incredibly attractive people in their like mid-20s. It's like everywhere, like on stage and everywhere else, and it's just like, what the fuck? It was like walking into like the set of a film or like a soap opera.
It was so fancy, yeah.
It was so fancy, and like everyone was so good looking. It was just like, what is this place? What is this weird society full of you like hip happening, slightly too wealthy for your age peeps?
Yeah.
And then they looked at me and were like, get that jazz talk out of here, daddy-o.
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 Oh, I love that. It's funny that you mentioned the word daddy-o. I've got future plans, actually.
You're having a baby?
Well, I mean, probably at some point of my life, that is a plan, yeah. But until then, until I'm an actual daddy-o... Oh my god, my phone's gone off, Ralph. Can't believe it. I'm the worst. I do this every time.
No, that's fine. I should actually turn my phone off. Shit, where's my phone? Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I completely forgot about that. I should turn it down so Funkadelic doesn't start randomly playing and we hit the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah, that would be very upsetting. Luckily mine was just a wee vibrate. It's all good. Yeah, anyway, back to my story.
Those vibrates are... Sorry, I was just...
What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, I was like... Are those like vibrations on phones like trademarked? Like, is this like a Nokia vibration?
No. Surely not. Can't claim a vibration. It's crazy. It's not even like... Well, I guess it is a kind of beat. Nah, you can't claim a vibration. That's bullshit. If someone tried to sue me for taking their vibration and I went to court, I'd just be like, nah, that's bullshit. Can't claim a vibration.
That's bullshit. You fucking hippie. No one can take your vibrations. For all of ours.
What do you have to say in your defense? Nah, that's bullshit.
Nah, it's bullshit. It doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
That's what I'd do. That's exactly
I've never heard of the back catalogue of Stevie Nicks, you lord. Doesn't exist. I can't have stolen it.
Joe, you need to get a lawyer. Nah, it's cool. It's bullshit. I'll just tell him in court. Anyway.
But you've got this burning car in your front garden and like a suitcase full of money. Nah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's cool. It's nothing. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's fine.
Nah, it's fine. It's always fine. It's fine if you say it's fine. Yeah, back to my story. That's
what I tell myself when I'm in prison. Sorry, back to your story.
Back to my story. Yeah, so daddy-o. When I'm a daddy-o, hopefully, like, around the time when I'm, like, 35 to 40, I really want to, like, start some sort of radio show called Daddy-o Radio. That is actually the plan. And I can sort of do my intro, and hopefully I'll have, like, a really deep, husky dad voice. I can be like, hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daddy-o Radio. I can do, like, a really cringy intro like that. And
I don't know if that didn't sound husky.
I
to me.
know
That sounded
I don't
more
have
like
it in me yet. That's the issue, Ralph.
not a daddy.
Yeah.
Only daddies can speak with a husky voice.
Yeah, you need to reach the daddy-o stage to have that husk. I can't just generate the husk from within inside me.
I'm waiting for the daddy-o stage of my Pokemon evolution to start kicking in.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just not happening yet.
I can't wait to evolve. Yeah, you're right. I don't know what I'm evolving into next, but I'm pretty excited. I'm more excited for the daddy-o stage, though.
What's like sub-daddy-o? Is it just dad?
I guess, yeah. Early dad. That's
Early
like the
dad,
husk hasn't
yeah.
hit yet, because like you're not a hardened veteran. You're like a noob. Private rank 1. And then...
I have this vision of like a bunch of dads in a bar and like trying to figure out how they solve something, and you just hear this screeching from the back of a man like in Jaws rubbing his hand down some chalkboards. It's like, oh my god, it's the daddy-o. He's just this grizzled old fisherman. You think that's how you change a baby? Ugh.
Yeah. You got a lot ahead of you. Man. Anyway, crazy sidetracking going on, which is great. I love a good sidetrack. Today, me and Ralph are going to be talking about how we consume media on a daily basis.
Yeah, sort of comparison, and yeah, see how we, I guess, like fit in with the rest of the youths.
Yeah, I mean, we have like pretty similar tastes when it comes to just media consumption in general, like especially games. So I don't know how different it'll be. I think it'll be like fairly different.
Yeah, well,
But,
I'm guessing the differences will come in things like music and films and
yeah,
like television, definitely, and
yeah. I think they're way more subjective than games. I mean, games are subjective, but like music especially, like I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of a huge word field. Like games for us would be super similar because we pretty much just get everything through like Steam.
Yeah, the
It's
platform's big, I think, on games.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of ways to sort of find and consume like video games on PC, since it's just like Steam is this monopoly that rules with an iron fist, and then like Origin occasionally pokes its head up and says, "Hello, we have great EA games," and then the rest of the internet is just like says, "Fuck off, Origin," and like slaps it a bit and
pretty much. I think it's Twitch are totally trying to dive into the game platform section. Twitch are trying to dive into everything. Yeah, have you seen the Twitch client?
Tell me, Joe, what is Twitch?
Twitch.tv is a website now owned by Amazon. Crazy enough,
I've heard of them.
Yeah, I think everyone's heard of Amazon
They own
at this
everything.
point. Yeah, they own a lot, but I think they're being like pretty innovative at the moment with their business ideas and pretty consumer friendly as well. I don't know much like about any of the behind the scenes stuff and how workers get treated and all that stuff. I know they've had stuff about that in the past, but in terms of like consumer friendly practices, they're doing a pretty good job right now, in my opinion. Everything like with all their Prime deals and stuff, how they're linking everything together, it's really smart. For example, they linked Twitch and Amazon Prime together when they, not as soon as they bought over Twitch, but like pretty soon. And like you could get a free subscription to like a streamer every month if you have Twitch Prime. Basically, the way it works is if you have Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime, you also own the other.
Okay.
So they come as a package now, which is really cool. And yeah, so basically the Twitch client, they've started. I mean, yeah, it's a client you can download and it has quite a few features. One of them is obviously you can watch streamers on your desktop, which is pretty cool. Not all the features are there, like video playback and stuff isn't quite there yet. But yeah, you can watch like live streaming, follow people, donate to people, all that jazz. And then you can also, there's like voice chat, and it works really well because streamers can like directly link their stream to like a voice server, if that makes sense, which is pretty cool.
Does that mean they could have it almost as like a radio call-in kind of show?
Yeah, definitely. It could be used for stuff like that.
Okay.
It's really smart because they basically copied Discord. Like, to put it simply, it's like not anywhere near as good as Discord yet, but it has very similar features and even a kind of similar aesthetic, like with the channel layout and stuff. And it doesn't have anything like the screen sharing and stuff that Discord offers now. But it's pretty similar. But the reason the Twitch client's great, it has a lot of stuff, but it doesn't do anything amazing yet. if that makes sense. So they're also like introducing games, so you can buy games and like have them on your Twitch client, and they've also integrated like mods for like MMOs and like mod packs for Minecraft and stuff.
Oh,
Which you
so
can...
they're going from, or not going from, but like expanding from somewhere where you view things to somewhere where you can actually like buy and play games.
I'm not completely sure how the buying and playing works, but for example, like because I have Twitch Prime, basically Twitch Prime gives out free stuff every month for games usually. And you basically just like click claim offer, and it can be anything from like a loot box or like 5 loot boxes in Overwatch to like actual full games like for free. And I've had like 7 free games so far, and I've had Prime for a while, so that's over the space of like, I don't know, just like a year and a bit or something. But 7 free games in a year and a bit, like it's pretty good. And some of them like I don't even know. But for example, the big one I got was like Tales from the Borderlands, and that was actually a game I wanted anyway. So
cool.
I was cool with that. And I also got what's the game called again, where you shoot the dudes? Super Hot. Yeah, that's the one. Super Hot.
Oh fuck! I really want to play Super Hot.
Yeah, I got that for free. Well, I mean, kind of free, because obviously I was paying, but I was paying for something else, so that was cool. And yes, stuff like Titan Souls and Civ 4, which why not?
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so pretty cool stuff. I like that. But yeah, what they're doing is basically just putting all the features of stuff people love into one, and they're just going to refine it over time. Like right now, I think they're just trying to get as many features as possible, and then when they have enough, like they're going to just make it better. So I think it's definitely one to watch out for, because like obviously Amazon have a lot of money, and it seems like they really want to contend.
Yeah, if they see something doing well, they're gonna shovel like all their money into it.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want to know the slightly like sinister reason why like Amazon are incredibly good for customer service?
Yeah, go for it.
And why they? Yeah, it's also the reason they like link a lot of stuff in. Is Amazon's like prime commodity is essentially with 2 prime commodities. One of them is like internet servers and providing services for other platforms, and the other service, that is where they get like a lot of like outside business from, and a lot of their wealth from, is using all these different services combined. They build up like a huge portfolio on like customer databases. The stuff you watch on Twitch can like go into a feedback loop for stuff that you might be interested in on Amazon, and then stuff that you're interested in on Amazon can go into like a feedback loop for other websites that they either own or are in partnership with.
See, so, I'm weird. I'm one of these people that doesn't mind that stuff.
A
lot of people like hate the idea of like their experience being tailored for them, or like just getting watched in general. But I'm someone who's like, if you're just like looking at what I do to see what I like and make things better, like I'm all for that. Like I get why people wouldn't be.
Yeah, if it's just like algorithms kind of chucking up stuff and saying like, oh, you've been interested in watching this film, maybe you'd also quite like that one. Like I'm fine with it with things like recommendation services, but I do find it like slightly sinister when I say like click on like a completely random website and I just seem to have like adverts following me from place to place. And
I get that.
Like, little things like that kind of make me a little bit hesitant.
Yeah, but then again, I still just feel like that's them doing the hard work for me. Like I don't know. I feel I feel like if people like want to live.
I love it when mega corporations spy on my every move.
Well, they're not spying on my every move. They're spying on what I'm doing on their website, what I'm consuming on their grounds, and then tailoring. And even if they shared it with other companies, right?
Yeah.
That would mean, I don't know, it still just benefits me. I know it benefits them as well, but if it's benefiting me, then I'm not upset about it. I don't know, like, if it's making my online experience better, even if it's manipulating me. Like, that's the whole point. Like, this is, like, all manipulative, and I get why, like, people wouldn't want that. But even if I'm, like, I enjoy what I watch because my brain likes it. Like, I didn't choose to be born and like these things. That's just how I am. And if they just give me things I like without me even having to ask for them, I mean, I'm okay with that. Like, I don't know. Just
Yeah,
takes the
that's fair
hard part
enough.
out, I guess.
That's fair enough. It does do like a big like, I guess, like, one super positive aspect to having, these large corporations kind of tailor things to you is it does make it a lot easier to finder things. To
Yeah.
finder things. Like, a big
Finder
issue.
is
Oh,
Finder
finder.
like the search on Macs or something? Pretty sure that's what
Is
it's
it?
called. Yeah,
Oh yeah, it
it's
is,
called like
man.
Finder or something.
Fuck Max. But like an issue I pretty much almost always have when like trying to find something that I either want to watch or listen to or read or whatever. I, just because of the internet, I get paralyzed by the infinite possibilities of stuff.
Okay.
Like I'm so difficult when it comes to finding, say, a film I want to watch or a new TV show I want to watch. Like I spent like 3 hours earlier this week just like researching to try and find out like what TV show I want to watch. I can't just pick one,
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
because like there's just so many options. It has this weird thing of like I feel like I don't want to waste my time watching something that I'm not going to really fully enjoy.
Put the time into. No, definitely. I feel that way
Yeah,
too.
like the last time, so like yes, like I would like open up Netflix, which is kind of not primarily the thing I used to watch television, but it's like a big chunk of it.
Hmm.
So like I would open up Netflix, and uh, I was like, I want to watch some kind of anime, and which is like a fucking rabbit hole to try and like figure out what you want to watch in it.
Yeah.
But I spent ages looking on lists, being like, what is a anime show on Netflix I really want to watch? And after spending like 30 minutes, like trying to figure out what the aggregate anime was and all these different lists, I eventually like decided, oh, Knights of Sidonia, and yeah, did end up loving it. But then what that's led to is now Netflix just keeps sending me little like messages, or will have on its home screen like, hey, you liked this anime about mechs and aliens fighting each other. Like, do you want to watch this
Yeah.
anime about mechs and aliens fighting each other? And I'm like, no, please.
Yeah, I get that. Like,
I've had my fill.
sometimes the suggestions just get annoying. Yeah, with Netflix, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the layout and stuff. I think that's what mainly puts me off, especially when I'm like looking at it on a big TV and sort of like sitting back in the couch. Just the way it has everything laid out, it never entices me to properly go the extra distance and watch something. I don't even know why.
Right, yeah.
Maybe like
I think I know what this is, because I've had this quite a lot of times when I look at something on Netflix. I think like a big issue with it is they've changed how things are rated.
yeah, the rating. I never understood it. Is it like
I used to really like the old system where you would put in preferences initially. So you'd say like I love westerns, and then you could then say I also like films with anti-heroes, or like TV shows that have like conspiracy theories or something, or are like dealing with a conspiracy of some kind, like a detective show of some sort.
yeah.
And you could then rate things out of 5 stars. And what that meant is that with all of those things combined, you'd see suggestions like, oh, you really enjoyed State of Play, which is, an anti-hero kind of conspiracy sort of story about a journalist. And it would then say, you might also really like All the President's Men. We think you would give it 5 stars, because it fits into those same categories and those same preferences you have.
Yeah.
Whereas the system they've changed it to is like just a really generic, quite shitty like social media one, which is you either give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Oh, is it literally that? Oh,
Yeah,
no.
it's literally just thumbs up, thumbs down. So what it means is,
No.
and they've gotten rid of all the preferences.
No.
So yeah, which like
no.
yeah, it's way more just like general, and it becomes way harder to tell why something is being recommended to me, and you don't get any of the additional information that you did with the old preferencing system. So now I just see TV shows pop up, and the only thing I have to judge them on is the picture that comes with it.
Yeah.
And like, it's very difficult to get me like excited about a TV show or a film because there's a picture of it. You know?
Yeah, definitely. I think I use Amazon Prime more,
Uh-huh.
and even when I was on the TV, looking at the stuff on the TV and stuff, it always has like a really, I don't know if it has this on Netflix. I'm just saying it has like a really detailed, well, not really detailed, but it has like a good blurb of it.
Yeah,
I don't know
Netflix
if Netflix
doesn't
do
have
good
that
blurbs.
unless you like go into the more information side of things, which kind of sucks. Like it doesn't even tell you the name of the director.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Also, Amazon Prime like has for the ratings and stuff. It still has the star rating and like has IMDb rating as well, which I like because
Yeah, that's
it's
a
nice
good
to
kind of double.
have like a mix of. I know IMDb isn't all critic ratings and stuff, but it's you could argue that it is more critical, obviously, because even if you're reviewing on IMDb, you're probably wanting to critique movies,
Yeah,
whether you're good at it or not.
If it's like an IMDb rating, that's based upon whoever wrote that review is based upon their opinion of that film.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas what I found with quite a lot of Amazon stuff is, I will go and look at a film that I absolutely love and be like, why has this only got two stars? Fuck you all.
Yeah.
And then like you read the reviews and it's like, the Blu-ray came and the packaging was scratched, and it's like, oh, okay, this is.
Oh yeah, but that's
that's
for DVDs and stuff. On Amazon Prime, it's like streaming, so no one.
Oh, okay, so like, I mean, surely you must still get reviews that are just like, the picture was of a low quality, and then somebody saying, "Are you sure your internet isn't just really shit?" And
it's sort of. You don't really get as much as that because a lot of people that actually have it, I don't think watch it on like desktop computers and stuff. And desktop computers are the only TV. Dodgy ones because like there's the whole rule of like recording your screen and stuff, and then with like home TVs, they can like almost guarantee that you can't record it. I know you can record your screen on a home TV and stuff, whereas like I could very very easily just go record an episode of the Grand Tour or whatever right now and upload it, but I won't have it in full HD or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like the way they have ways around it, sort of thing. Whereas it's especially with YouTube. I remember I rented a movie off it for like really cheap, and I was so salty when I couldn't watch it in HD on my computer. And I like the only option I had because I don't have like a smart TV in my house or anything was to watch it on my phone if I wanted it in HD. And it was a Star Wars. It was Star Wars Rogue One, which is a very important film for visuals. Like
that fucking sucks.
I know. So I was sat there like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I paid like £3, but it was definitely the HD version. I put in a ticket because I was confused, and she was like, "Yeah, it's because it's on your desktop computer, and like you just can't. You're just not like. There's literally no way around it. You can't watch a thing in film in HD, like stream a film in HD on your
absolutely
computer.
Sucks.
It does.
That's that nicks into one of the things that irritates me the most about how we kind of in general consume media, which is that in the day of the internet, it's still weirdly hard to like find TV shows and films from other countries. Like Like I will consistently see TV shows and films that I just can't watch. More so TV shows. Like I'm just not going to be able to watch a lot of TV shows if I didn't have something like Amazon or Netflix.
Yeah.
And like even just like YouTube videos. Like I think it's ridiculous that like I can go onto YouTube and try to watch, say, like a clip that Last Week Tonight with John Oliver has put up. Yeah. And to find that HBO have just gone, nah, sorry, but you can't watch this in the UK.
Yeah.
Like, but you've put it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Surely that's something that's everywhere.
Like, yeah. It gets to the point where obviously like pretty much everyone has watched like a series illegally at this point. Like on a website that's...
never.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, because like literally even the people that are really against it, some shows are literally just not even available. Like, in this country.
No, I've definitely like done it with like Game of Thrones and stuff that I know will just get spoiled for me if I wait for like the Blu-ray or the DVD. And like obviously there's some packages and stuff we can get, like Sky and all these kind of things, but I'm not gonna pay however much money it is for Sky so I can watch a few extra TV shows.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, like obviously like there's only usually like one show or whatever you care about, and then they like charge you obviously for the full package, and then you've got a bunch of stuff you don't even want to watch. I think that's like another big thing. It'd be cool if there was like a Steam of
A Steam of TV.
Yeah, so like instead of all these little, so maybe it's a good thing that Steam exists and it has no competition. Because imagine if like for games, like Origin is enough for people to complain, and Uplay especially. Imagine if there was like 2 times, maybe even 3 times the amount of platforms there currently are that you had to spread your games across. Like, it would just be terrible.
Yeah, like
Really,
there
really
are
bad.
like third-party tools, so you can like organize stuff into a single collective library.
Imagine if there was a program that you could have, a client on your computer, that you could access. I don't know, would it be good if you could access everything from one program? Or, for example, if it, more like a Steam situation, so all your games are on Steam. All your games are on, I don't know, a Netflix client. So basically combine all of the TV. I know this isn't going to happen, obviously, but I combine all the TV platforms, add foreign stuff in as well. Like, basically the perfect TV thing. You have that as a client on your computer. One client that you can access all of this stuff. It's almost like having TV on your computer. Because, like, obviously, if you think about TV, like the box, everything's on that box. All your TV is on that box. Why? I don't know. I feel like someone should try and make that for like the computers, but I think it's too late because Netflix and Amazon are already such big competitors.
Yeah, I feel like the actual process of creating a client which could access all of this data and all of these different shows and compile them in kind of a library
Yeah,
is
very
I think that's
unlikely.
possible. I think the thing stopping that is definitely like licensing agreements
Yeah, yeah,
and
it's
then like
the current
security
competition.
details and stuff. But like you will find like slightly niche things that will give you access to different kinds of stuff. So like
Mm.
I am also subscribed to BFI, so the British Film Institute,
Mm.
and their library tends to focus on films. There's lots of other stuff as well. They also do like historical archive footage and various different things like that. But their film selection tends to focus towards the filmier side of things, the artsier side of things,
Yeah,
and their collection has a lot of stuff that I can just guarantee I wouldn't be able to find on another streaming service because it's a lot of things like Italian films from the 70s or these kind of like a series they would put on of Australian films that are all to do with people being out in the wilderness, and they have these kind of series. Come on, don't laugh at that. There's lots of good Australian films about people being out in the
yeah. I
wilderness.
know. It's just the fact that it's just out in the
It,
wilderness.
it just seems like an odd choice. No, man, you should
No,
watch.
not an odd choice. It's just such a stereotype, isn't it? An
No, I know. I'm so
Australian man
sorry.
out
I'm
in the
so
wilderness.
an Australian man out in the wilderness. I think when it comes to like finding media from other countries, it's certainly based around, or at least a lot of the stuff that filters through, is stuff that, typically speaking, it fits more in line with how whatever country we're in views that
Views
country.
them, yeah.
So it's
Definitely.
just like there's been a huge explosion over like the last decade of like Iranian films. And if you look at like a common link between all the different Iranian films and the Iranian filmmakers who are getting noticed in Europe, they're all making films that are about living under some kind of oppressive regime. It's like that totally fits in with
Yeah.
like how people in this society view that country, and
Yeah.
like they're definitely like think of like a Chinese film that isn't a fucking like Hong Kong action movie, like
Yeah.
like there's just like only certain types of films that like make it through, and like there's the joke which is just all French films are just people sitting around and talking,
Mm.
which is like clearly not true. But
Yeah.
like these are all the types of films that kind of break through to us.
Mhm.
Like I remember I was actually listening to a podcast and it was with a director whose name I cannot remember. He was the guy who directed Repo Man way back in the 80s, and he was talking about this new wave of German cinema. So things like Downfall, The Lives of Others, like these really amazing dramas, which are quite often about like quite controlling figures.
Yeah,
And
I
I mean, one
definitely
place
know
the
them.
controlling figure is Adolf Hitler, but
Yeah.
and like people trying to figure out how to live under the kind of the end of those regimes. And he was saying like this obviously fits in with like quite an old-fashioned view of Germany, and the like explosion of the film scene in Germany at that time, that wasn't the main focus of it. It was like way more experimental, and it was way more based upon like art house stuff and thrillers. But all the stuff we were getting was kind of filtered through this almost I'm trying to think how to describe it, almost like Oscar and BAFTA kind of style of saying, hey, this is what this great film from this country is, rather than saying like, oh, this is wide breadth of stuff. Like I would recommend checking out a film called Train from Busan, which is a South Korean film.
Yeah, I think Laurie's seen that. She said it was really good.
It's really good. It's like it's like a South Korean zombie film. Yeah, and it's kind of awesome seeing something which we consider like really familiar, but from the point of view of of zombie films. There are fucking thousands of them that we can go and watch right now.
Yeah,
but it's really cool seeing that type of story created in a different country.
Yeah,
and how they
interpret
kind of,
the.
It's not so much like interpret like zombies, but it's how they like figure out innovative ways of doing horror in that setting.
Oh, okay.
Or
so
like
it's more
comedy
of the techniques.
Yeah, it's like the techniques and like how they do it, and then like it's quite funny seeing like what their character tropes are.
Yeah.
So like in ours, it would be like, oh, there's like the college girl, or like these the like the teenagers out in the cabin or whatever.
The overweight dude that can't
the
run.
overweight dude
and is
can't
somehow
run.
still surviving.
Somehow
and
still
complains
surviving.
about not having enough food because there's not much food.
There's always one. There's always one in a zombie film.
Yeah.
But no, like it's funny seeing those kind of tropes in Train to Busan.
From a different country. Yeah.
Yeah, like one part which really made me laugh was like on this train that the whole film is set on. There was just like a baseball team of like college kids who all had their baseball bats, and I was like, I fucking bet that's a trope.
Yeah.
I bet that's a trope. And then they had like the husband and wife who were like a really sweet couple who like you just knew were gonna die at some point.
Yeah.
And it has all of these like tropes which I'm like, these are all sort of weirdly familiar but like twisted a little bit.
Yeah, not quite the same. That's cool.
Not quite the same. But yeah, I wish there was a much easier way of accessing that kind of film or that kind of story from other countries.
I also wish this. I mean, I think a lot of companies get put off as well purely because of subtitling stuff, and like, which is dumb because like, they've got the money for it. They've got the money to hire people to do it. It's not like it's a crazy thing. It doesn't even cost much extra for them to do, and they're getting like a lot of platforms are getting a lot better for it. But I think that is genuinely a big thing that puts them off, which sucks. Because obviously, like, if they let in a big floodgate of them, there would be quite a lot of subtitling to be done. But I mean, like, again, they're huge corporations, and that would get them so much more business if they had this extra stuff. So I don't know, it's weird to me.
Yeah, definitely. I think
it's also the licensing thing, obviously.
Yeah, the licensing would definitely be part of it. But like at the same time, I imagine like there's plenty of like South American TV shows or TV show and like production companies who would be completely happy with like Netflix or Amazon or like Sky or the BBC or whoever saying like, hey, can we show this in our country? Like, this is a really good TV show. Can we do this?
Yeah,
like,
it's like, we'll pay you.
We'll pay you loads of money and like we'll do all the hard work for it. You literally have to do nothing. It's totally cool. Like, the only things I can think of that are like close to that are like there are shows that slip through. So like The Returned is like a really great French TV show that kind of slipped through the whole thing.
Yeah.
But that was remade, just like in English with the exact same plot, and like so was like The Killing, and like Homeland is a remake of an Israeli TV show. Like there are all of these huge TV shows that are just basically just taking the exact plot of this foreign language TV show and just putting it in English.
Yeah,
which feels shitty.
Yeah,
that
it is shitty. Yeah. I mean that's really common in Asia as well for films to be remade. A couple of but like it goes both ways. Like a couple of successful like Asian dramas and stuff get remade in America, and they're also really terrible.
Okay,
they're like it's just it never really works. I don't know, cause it's like you said, like each place sort of has their own tropes and like. I don't know, when you try and bring those over and, like, not change them, but, like, just change the language, it doesn't really work.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why, like, localization is such a
Yeah.
huge key. I was actually watching a really good series on a YouTube actually called No Clip, which
Okay.
is
Yeah.
the only type of show that I've seen that does this, which is like long form documentaries on video games.
Okay.
And they had one on The Witcher and CD Projekt Red, and they dedicated like an entire episode of it to the localization process, because The Witcher was translated into it was some kind of ridiculous number of languages. Like they had like
Yeah,
I
I
think
can
it was
imagine.
like 16 or 17 main languages where everything was
That's
translated
that is
and
crazy.
localized. Yeah, which is
Yeah.
really crazy because the script for The Witcher 3 is over 6,000 pages long.
Yeah, so that's incredible.
Which is
like,
which is fucking nuts. Like it's longer than like pretty like the entirety of Lord of the Rings. Like it's
yeah.
really crazy like how, and like the whole of Harry Potter and like all of these things.
Mm.
It's like I can't imagine like having to translate that all those different times, but then also localize it. And the reason that they put so much time into the localization was they just knew our game, our story we tell just won't make sense if we can't put this into context for what
Yeah.
these people will understand.
It's
And,
it's such a key part of the game as well. Like,
oh, completely.
yeah. So
Like it's one of the reasons where like I really wish that I could get into more stuff from like Japan.
Yeah.
And there's so many times where I just feel like I can't fully grasp it unless I do like a lot of homework and like spend a long time reading up on like what's the significance of this. Like, is it...
I kind of get that. I do a little bit after. I think I don't know. I just sort of roll with it. I think when I'm watching foreign ones, I'm not actually paying too much attention to the really intricate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching it more casually because
Yeah.
there will be stuff I don't quite understand.
It's not even the more kind of detailed moments or like the little nuanced things. It's things like somebody will say something at a dinner party in like a Park Chan-wook film that I'm watching from South Korea, and then people at the dinner table will kind of go and like gasp in shock, and I'll be sitting here thinking, that's fine, surely that's fine, and then I'll have to look afterwards and be like, oh, that's a horribly offensive thing to say to somebody in like a South Korean dinner, right? Oh, okay, I get why.
I understand. Yeah,
I understand why the rest of this happened.
I was gonna ask you, like, does it put you off, or does it entice you more if you have to make an account for something? And I know like most things require that, but like I'm gonna use an example of what my mom had recently, because it's funny because like I'm totally used to having an account for something, but she was like using STV and BBC like for watching stuff online, and they only just recently made it so you have to have an account, and my mom was like pretty raging, and I found that really weird because I'm so used to it.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of people get really angry when the BBC started to do it.
Yeah.
Because until then it had just been, fairly easy just to get on and watch anything. And then suddenly BBC iPlayer is asking you to put all this information in there. Which, seemed like an odd thing. I think it's like a double whammy with the BBC, which is, until then, you just went to iPlayer and could watch anything. So you had this kind of barrier-free level of entry. And I think the other thing that makes people like a bit squeamish, which gets back to our earlier talk about Amazon and their all user data stuff, is that the BBC is state-owned.
Yeah.
So there is like a little thing in the back of the mind of every like Daily Mail reader being like, I'm not giving the government my bloody email address.
Yeah, it's the government's the big one, isn't it? Like...
Yeah, even though like, guess what, fucker? Like they already know everything about you. So like,
yeah, that's the funny part. Like, I don't know. My mom's like so hesitant to get Facebook or whatever, and people like oh, I'm deleting my Facebook, and like just try and clear themselves off the internet. But like, it just like I think in this day and age, especially like going forward, like it doesn't matter. Like there's literally nothing you can do. Like there are countermeasures you can take, but there's only so much you can do. Like you live in this world, and there's so many different ways to get information on people that like. Unless you're like a really highly trained like special forces sort of like ninja type thing, there's no way you're gonna keep your identity hidden. Like it's just not gonna happen. Like especially with things like emails and phone numbers and stuff.
Yeah, it's like it's nigh impossible to remain completely like off the grid, which I think has ruined spy films. If I'm honest
Yeah,
with you, because like spy films used to be really cool, and it used to be really easy for like James Bond to slip away. And
yeah.
now in the back of my mind, I'm just like, just call
That's
his,
not how that
just yeah,
works.
just like Google his phone number. like,
Yeah.
like you guys are gonna find him. Like, oh, he drives an Aston Martin, but that's easy to find. like, okay, does he
I
have a
mean, I
credit
think
card?
spy films could still be cool. Maybe not James Bond style, but like maybe
Mm.
more of on a realistic type of way.
Have you ever seen a film from the '70s made by Francis Ford Coppola called The Conversation?
I have not. I think I've
Ah,
heard of it.
yeah, it's really amazing actually. I think you quite like it, and it kind of it's kind of suitable since it is literally about people recording each other.
Ah, okay.
Um, and it's this private detective who's asked to record a conversation of two people, and like the film goes to these amazing lengths of like showing you the equipment and like showing you how it all works, and like it's him like fiddling with like dials and getting tapes of like tape reels and kind of messing with them to try and get the perfect conversation. And it's like a really really amazing film all about like paranoia and all this kind of stuff. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would fucking love to see what an updated version of that film would be with like today's technology and the countermeasures and steps they would go through to like get those conversations and figure out what they mean by them and things like that. Another thing about the conversation that I really love is its soundtrack. Like it has this really amazing kind of 2 minute long piano piece in it. Actually, how do you like find music or consume music?
At the moment, my primary way of consuming music, well, I want to say Spotify. Spotify is what I listen to when I'm out and about, but I don't know, I don't usually find music through Spotify, so I kind of take that back. I usually
Okay,
find music on YouTube, and then I
right,
look for
okay.
it on Spotify, and if it's there, I add it to my playlist. I just use Spotify because it basically has everything I like, and I can really easily like sync it up with my phone. I
Hmm.
think that's a really big thing for me, being able to easily access it from both my computer and my phone is like really key, and I think that's what like a huge like upside of Spotify at the moment.
Yeah, it's like kind of a general benefit to any streaming service
Yeah,
is you can take it anywhere with you, which eliminates you're driving in the car and you can only have like one CD, so you like rummage through all of your CDs in your house and you're like, oh fuck, I guess I'm going to listen to this one Queens of the Stone Age CD that isn't scratched,
yeah,
and yeah, hope for the best. Whereas yeah, with the streaming service, you can just get everything everywhere, which is
yeah,
obviously like a
definitely.
massive, massive, massive bonus in this day and age. But like, I still like having a collection. I still like turning around and seeing like a pile of
Seeing a
CDs.
physical collection of
Yeah,
stuff.
it has a bit more of like an ownership to it. It's like
Mm,
if it's something that I really love, I'll buy the record of it or
yeah,
the Blu-ray or whatever. If it's something that I want to just be able to listen to, then I will use YouTube. It's like I will tend to find things through YouTube just by like Actually, I want to know if you also do this. Do you just like look at a video or listen to a bit of music on YouTube that you really like, and then just scroll down the recommendations and just like click on random stuff?
yeah, totally do that.
I love
Um,
falling down those rabbit holes.
yeah, especially with I don't know. I think YouTube's actually really good at that. I think SoundCloud is actually better. I don't know if I don't really use SoundCloud anymore, but when I used to use it for recommendations at least, like I don't know if it like matches BPM and stuff on SoundCloud, but
I'm not.
recommendations were always really similar. Not like similar to the point where it's the exact same song, but
Mhm.
it got it pretty like
Spot on.
spot on, yeah, with
Yeah,
similar music.
I use SoundCloud pretty much every day, and
Mm,
part of it is because like I put my own music up on there, but then
yeah.
I also use it to find other people's stuff. The thing I will say is like it does get quite messy after a while.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
Yeah.
the homepage just gets chock a block with stuff that I'm just not interested in because it's
Yeah.
the homepage is made up of what people you follow share.
Yeah. Also, the homepage, like the layout, even Like it's one by
it's just
one rather than
one by one, and
yeah.
it's a huge list. And I can obviously like search by genre, but that's just a general search. I can't look through my homepage and say, oh, I know there's like 4 or 5 people who make trip hop that I really like. I want to see what they've been doing.
Yeah.
And the only way to find it is to search individually, rather than have that homepage show me everything made by the people I follow who work in that genre.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they did something like Twitter. On Twitter, you can like have lists. So basically, it's almost like a separate homepage or a separate newsfeed for like you can like just choose certain people you follow, or you don't even have to follow them. I don't think.
So like, if you just wanted to like look at like, here are a bunch of reporters I really want to see what stories they've been covering. Here's a bunch of game news. Here's a bunch of movie.
Yeah, you could literally call like a list game news and then put in like the news. It's really smart. I don't think many people use it, which kind of sucks. But it's really good. And I feel like that would benefit SoundCloud in that kind of way, because if you're looking for a certain genre, it would be really easy. And like the other thing, actually, the hashtags on, or the tags on SoundCloud, a lot of the time people really annoy me because like instead of putting in the genre, they put in like,
yeah, they would put in a mood or like their own name or something.
Oh, it's so annoying. I'm like, why are you doing that?
Yeah,
like,
I
really
fucking hate that. I mean, like the other aspect of that, which is quite irritating, is because a lot of the stuff, not all the stuff, but a lot of the stuff on SoundCloud is primarily like electronic and falls under that super broad church. So you'll find people who just say like, this is, I don't know, like trance or whatever, and like that's a very easy thing that you can go and find. But then you'll find people who are like, no, this is super hardcore gabber tech, retro, whatever, and it's like this really specific genre, and they're super into it, and it's like, fuck, like I know I will be able to find this song if I can just remember this really fucking obscure genre labeled it under. No. Which totally. Like, sucks a lot. The recommendations on there are usually pretty fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. That was what I was talking about.
The way I primarily discover music on SoundCloud is periodically I'll just go onto the profile of somebody who I think makes really good music, and I will see what they've been listening to or what they've liked.
Yeah, what they've liked. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes, like I managed to find loads of just like a few days ago, I managed to find loads of really amazing kind of quite jazzy stuff.
Oh,
like really good kind of like electronically jazzy stuff. And it was just through finding this one guy who turned up in my recommendations, and just like went through everything that he follows and he likes, and found like another like 10-20 artists who all work within the same genre, who all make really amazing music. And like that's a super handy thing, is being able to see people you follow or people you admire the content of, seeing what they listen to or watch or what inspires them. Like I would really love like YouTubers, say there's a bunch of YouTubers I really like, I would really like it if they started to put playlists or like recommendations and just things like that. Or, you know, like I always love watching interviews with like authors or filmmakers and seeing what they're listening to or reading at the moment, and saying, oh, okay, well, I really admire your work. Surely this means that I can also learn or get things from this film you're watching or this TV show you're watching.
Yeah, definitely, because like everything that we watch and consume, funnily enough, inspires us to, and like you'll see it whether you mean it or not. Like videos I've watched in the past, if I go to make a video now, there will be some sort of element usually from something I've watched in the past, whether I did that consciously or, you know, unconsciously, like just accidentally. I don't know, you just pick things up and then you think, definitely. Oh, that's cool, and your brain sort of saves it, but you don't.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, whenever I edit video, I know there's like 2 or 3 really specific ways of editing that I will try and employ. So you know, like jump cuts working at this exact point, frames, this like the shots lasting this amount of time, how they build up to, say, something that cuts in quick succession, like, and especially like, you know, with music I make, there's plenty of stuff that I can listen to and go, oh, this drum beat mixed with like this synth sounds like something that, say, like Battles would do, or like this kind of transition here sounds like something that would happen in like a Fuck Buttons song. So like there's definitely.
Sorry, what? Fuck Buttons.
You've never heard of Fuck Buttons?
I have not. I like the name
man.
though.
Oh, they're
Fuck
so good.
Buttons.
Yeah, Fuck Buttons. They're brilliant, man.
Do they?
Oops, sorry.
Fuck up their buttons on their
Yeah,
keyboards
very
or
much so.
something?
No, I've seen
Yeah.
I've seen one of our members play live in his solo thing, and it was just like
He was fucking up his buttons.
fucking his buttons. It was definitely just like a wall of noise and him hitting a lot of synths and stuff. But funny enough, I actually first heard of him watching a TV show.
Oh, okay.
It was Top Boy when it was on Channel 4, the first season, and it had this really like threatening, quite epic, really distorted, just like single note on a guitar, just really sustained, and like this drum beat kind of underneath it, and like it really worked in this like huge climactic moment in the story, and like I'd never heard a soundtrack like it. And eventually found out that they were called Fuck Buttons and went to listen to them and was like, my god, this band are amazing. They're just like these walls of noise and like incredible, building things up to these great big crescendos. And then brilliantly they ended up like working with Danny Boyle
Okay.
during the Olympics.
Yeah,
And like they had like some of their music was used in the opening ceremony, and the reason that happened is because Danny Boyle and the guy from Underworld, who works with him a lot, thought it'd be really funny to see Fuck Buttons during the opening ceremony, and their music was played.
That.
Yeah, like I love that so much.
That is good.
Yeah, like it's such like a cheeky thing to do. Is like, I bet the BBC won't have Fuck Buttons listed in their list of music that we've used.
Pushing the limits of the BBC,
pushing the limits,
man.
yeah. And it was like, it was when all the Olympians were walking out with their flags as well, which is really funny, because it's like a really pivotal moment, and you just hear this like wall of distortion.
Yeah.
This, like a really aggressive drum beat and like hard hitting like bassy synth underneath it, and I'm like,
I love it.
I think this is Fuck Buttons, and I'm watching like Kazakhstan walk out to show off their like gymnasts. This is weird.
I like the idea of that though. I like it when people like try and push the BBC to their limits and all that stuff.
Yeah, I enjoy watching it a bunch. Funnily enough, just on another like consumer thing, with iPlayer, I find it extremely irritating that they don't show older series.
Oh, do they just take them away?
Yeah, they take them away after an amount of time.
It's Netflix did that as well with quite a few stuff. Like I know Netflix did it with like series that were like on their like 7th season or whatever. But that still annoys me. Like I don't know, being too late to the party, it just sucks. I don't know. What if like I can't remember what series it was in particular that it didn't have the old seasons of. But I was just so annoyed that I couldn't watch them.
Oh, that sucks.
It really put me off, and I was like, this was like 2 years ago or something like that, and it really, really annoyed me. And I was just like, right, I'm out. See you later.
Yeah, it absolutely sucks.
Yeah,
I got really mad when I rewatched the second half of Mad Men. Not the whole thing, because I've watched like the first 4 seasons multiple times.
Yeah,
just like showing it to other people. And yeah, I went to watch from like season 5 through to the end of season 7, and I got to the midway point in season 7, and I was like, oh man, it's getting into some of my favourite stuff ever in the show. And then it just ended, and I was like, I know there are 7 more episodes. I've watched them. Where are they? And they just weren't available on the streaming service.
Oh, it's so bad.
And it's like, why would you have up until like the final 7 episodes of a TV show and then just stop?
Who knows?
Like,
maybe licensing or something. I don't know.
It might be licensing, but there's not like any indication that that's not how the show ends. So it's like anyone who doesn't know that there's an extra 7 episodes, they're going to get to that point in the series and think, oh, it just ends with like this guy having a drink of whiskey and sitting down at his desk. Okay, that's a weird point to end all of this on. It's not like a climactic moment or anything.
Yeah, does sound like a bit of a Mad Men moment though.
That is very much like, how do we end the show? He just drinks and sits down.
He just drinks, yeah.
He just drinks again, and then probably like does something terrible with a secretary, like has an affair again, and yeah, that's probably how it ends. How else does it end? Like, he probably comes up with an amazing advert or something, and everyone loves him except for people who work with him. Oh yeah, that's proper Mad Men.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But,
yeah, that sounds about right.
like that's again kind of like a huge thing to do with how I consume media. Is I quite often find it a lot easier to find things through the internet that I can then get all of it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like it's like with TV shows. Like I'm never gonna go and buy like every Doctor Who DVD. Like I'm not gonna do that. But if I can find that on like a streaming service, I will probably watch it there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Just because the internet provides that ease of access, and like it's the same with like newspapers. Like I don't think I've ever bought a newspaper, like ever.
I think that's a generation thing, definitely.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But like I will always check stuff like on my phone. I will always go onto certain newspapers' websites.
Something I wanted to say about the not having the earlier seasons. For me, like a real life, like physical example of that. I don't know. Like, there's only been a couple of times I felt like actually like buying a comic book series of some sort, and it's like going into the store and like there's all like the the volumes except from one. It's like what?
Yeah,
it's like you can't read a comic book series without reading the first volume. I mean, I guess you could, but you just wouldn't. It's like,
and
why do you
just
even have this
like...
on display? I mean, it does make sense because like obviously most people will have read volume 1, but like it's just so crazy to me that like I don't know. It's really weird.
Yeah, no, I think that is like the one thing that I genuinely do wait for the entire collection to come out is a comic book. Like I kind of hate buying little bits and pieces here and there. Like, I much rather wait until the whole thing is wrapped up and then get, like, a complete edition with everything.
Yeah.
And that's just because, like, I feel almost like a little bit cheated if I read something that's only, like, 6 pages long. I'm like, oh, okay, that felt a bit cheap. Like, okay, I guess I'll wait for the next episode, well, the next publication, wherever that is, in, like, 6 months or something.
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah, no, comic books are definitely, like, a pretty tricky one to consume, and that's because it's really embarrassing going in a comic book shop. Like you never want to do that. you never want to run the risk of getting seen by somebody and
I've not minded. I've gone in before. I've been chill with it.
But have you met them in the shop or outside the shop?
Well, I don't know. I don't really converse with many people that I don't like. I think all the people that I care about the opinion of totally know what I'm like, if that makes sense. I don't know. Like, obviously there's people I know from like school and stuff from like ages ago, but if they saw me in a comic book store, I wouldn't be thinking about what they were thinking at all. I think I'm quite lucky in that regard, I guess, because I know a lot of people
I have like
have
a
issues
weird,
with that.
not like a deep-seated fear, but like there's like a slight fear if like I ever meet somebody who like I got on really well with in school and then they meet me now and we're like, Ralph, you're just some fucking weirdo who plays video games and like makes music on a synth. Like, what are you?
I think if you told someone I don't know. I think people, if you told someone, "Oh, I make music," you wouldn't even have to tell them how. They'd just be like, "Oh, that's really cool." I don't know. It's like it's one of those things that because they don't know the level of which you make music at. I'm not aiming at you, by the way. I'm just in general. Like, you could be like, a world famous DJ, or you could be like a dude that like strums his guitar for fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just saying I make music is like a sort of like a
it's a very general
get out of jail free card.
Get out of jail. Yeah. I used to do that when I took photographs a lot more. My go-to thing was I once had a job working for O2, taking photographs at concerts that they held in their what's the word? Venues.
Arena.
Yeah, arenas, venues. Not like the big arena in London, but
venues.
Yeah, there's stuff in Glasgow, and it was like a really easy go-to thing because no matter what, people would always go like, "Fuck, that's really good. You probably made it." And in the back of my mind, I'm like, "Don't tell them you only get a tenner. Don't tell them you only get a tenner when you do it."
Yeah,
I don't even get paid the price of a fucking ticket.
Yeah,
but it sounds really good to be like, I've worked with this massive corporation.
Yeah, it's funny how like that sort of stuff works.
It's all about the phrasing. Like if somebody's if I say, "Oh, I make music," you instead of saying, "Oh yeah, I just put it out myself and put it on SoundCloud," you say, "I self-publish," which sounds like a lot better.
Yeah, it's definitely the phrasing and like the tone you take and stuff.
Yeah, totally. Sure. Like when you make when you like make video content, you're like, I'm an editor, rather than I make videos. Like,
Yeah.
say I'm an editor. Sounds
Just having a title.
real good.
I don't know. That's weird though, because I've tried to stop labeling myself as a video editor, and I'm going more for like a video, I guess, like, I don't know, creator sort of thing. Video creator is weird because it makes it sound like I'm a YouTuber or something.
Yeah, it's very, very internet.
But
Very internet speak.
I mean, there isn't really another way to word it, because what I'm trying to sell myself as is I can come out, film, and then edit you a video. So it's not just editing.
It's
that
like
point.
a complete package kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's the Joe production.
Joe Production.
Production Joe.
Am I copywriting that? So now those
No.
kind of businesses have to label themselves as Joe Productions.
I'm copywriting it, Joe, because I came up.
goddamn it,
See,
Ralph.
you have to pay me some royalty fees because I'm the one who came up with the idea and the name.
I need to quickly get your personal information, hack into your computer, and delete this sound file.
What's your, just out of curiosity, what's your favorite like band name?
Band name? I don't know that many bands, to be honest.
Okay.
My favorite band currently, they're kind of weird. They're not like, they're a band, but they're like sort of like, I can't even describe it. I'm not even gonna bother at the moment. They're called Chase Atlantic. I
Okay.
quite like that name because I don't know, just the idea of
Chase
chasing
Atlantic.
Chase Atlantic. Yeah.
Okay. Wait,
I like
Atlantic is in like. Oh no, it's Atlantis is the sea, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So they mean literally chasing the ocean.
Yeah, I think so.
I've got to be honest, it's quite easy to catch.
I mean, I've not
body of
read too
water.
much into it, but man, I really like their music. I think it's really, really cool. It kind of blends some genres together in terms of like the vocals are quite pop punky, but
Okay.
then the music's quite like modern hip hop, really bassy kind of stuff. So it's weird mixing because like that's usually the guys who rap that are usually like really low toned, like slow style, and then along comes like a pop punk like sort of high pitchy voice, and it's like with that kind of music.
Yeah, it kind of throws
It's-
you off a bit.
Yeah, I really like it though. Definitely,
That's neat.
it was
That's
a new
cool.
discovery for me last year in terms of music,
Oh, that's cool.
and
I'll check
I'm
them
glad
out.
I did. Yeah, their latest album's like my favorite. There's not many albums I'm like, wow, I like 90% of the songs on this, but that's one of them. So
Oh, that's cool as hell, dude. That's cool as hell.
It
No,
is,
that's
yeah, I
awesome.
like
I'll check them out.
hell yeah.
Yeah, a band's name and a band that I really like. Just because I saw them at a festival, and I ended up like what was it? It was Dune Rabbit Hole. I ended up taking my shirt off and just running around and shouting their name at people for like an hour afterwards.
Oh my god.
Because it was so much fun just to run up
Yeah.
to people and just throw your arms in the air and just start shouting pigs, 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 pigs.
They were called pigs.
They were called pigs, 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 pigs.
Oh,
See,
okay.
it was so much fun just to run up to people and start shouting pigs, 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 pigs.
That's the
pigs,
sort of thing,
pigs.
I don't know, it's like the sort of thing I'd see in Rick and Morty or some sort of like adulty cartoon. Just a guy running about, like throwing his arms up, going pigs. It
Pigs,
would be
pigs,
like one of
pigs,
those
pigs,
side
pigs.
characters in an episode that would just turn up every like
Yeah.
quarter of the episode, and they'd be like, "Who is this guy?"
Who's this
Like,
guy? He's just
yeah.
Ralph at a festival. What's going? Hi guys, I'm
Yeah.
Ralph at a festival. Pigs, 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 pigs.
and then you just leave.
And just leave.
Oh man,
The-
yeah, that's
I think
good.
my favorite thing about it was when I did it outside of a festival, so like people didn't know this band were playing, and
Yeah.
I did it on like a night out, and this guy just turned around and was like, "Yeah, fuck cops," which I thought was really funny. And I didn't want to like disappoint him by saying I wasn't like shouting at the police. I just
Yeah.
really liked this.
Is
band.
that is pigs like a British term or is it a Scottish term or is it?
for cops?
Yeah.
I
How
think-
widespread is that?
Oh, pigs is pretty universal. Like,
Is it?
Yeah, pigs is
Yeah.
definitely universal. Like pigs, filth.
Filth.
You've never heard
Man,
filth? Yeah,
no.
filth's a pretty like full-on way to describe
Yeah.
a cop,
Yeah.
but it's completely true. No,
I don't know. I don't know why. I really like it when like copper is used.
Copper sounds good. Yeah, I really like. I like all right, copper. Like, yeah,
Or you could go from like just filth to filthy copper, and then you're rolling. You know?
fuck, filthy copper is such a good band name.
That's it, man. We should just have a whole mini munch. Like, what band name would we have?
What band name
And like
would we
go
have?
through like suggestions and
Oh
give them the
man,
rundown.
I'm definitely gonna choose Filthy Copper. That's so good. That's so good. Yeah. If you want to see a really funny video of people trying to come up with a name for something, there's a video of Justin and Griffin McElroy, who are two of the founding members of the website Polygon, which is like primarily video game based. And there's this really funny like a PAX East video of them just going through a PowerPoint of loads of shit names that they came up with first before arriving on Polygon. Yeah. And they just had things like object, because we're like, what's the name of something in a video game? And we're like, object, mission objective. Like, just trying to figure out all of these things. And like one of them was like, it had something to do with wrestling pandas. Just like all of these names, and I'm just like explaining all the reasons why all of these names were utterly terrible and why they had some, like, and like showing like product and like prototype merchandise they'd made for like all of these terrible branding names and things like that.
Man,
luckily
that's
it was
good. I like
easy
that.
for us to come up with our name.
Yeah, it was pretty simple actually.
Just media we munch upon.
Yeah, that's good.
I wanted to call it Film Broccoli, but no one would let me.
Film Broccoli.
Film Broccoli.
Yeah, I turned that one down straight away.
Yeah. Anime Avocado was another one.
And that's coming from someone who loves broccoli as well.
I hate broccoli. And now we fight.
Yeah. Let's get in the Ring of Death. Do you think that must be a place?
What, a Ring of Death?
Yeah, but like a place like called the Ring of Death.
The Ring of
It'll be like some pub or something.
I don't know, the Colosseum in Rome? Sort of a Ring of Death, I guess.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, literally, people, like, it's titled The Ring of Death.
I bet there's
most likely in America or something.
Ooh, maybe not America, but I can see there being, like, a really sick, like, wrestling ring in Mexico.
Yeah,
called
the Ring of Death.
Yeah.
But in Mexican.
Yeah. Well, Spanish.
Yeah. Well, Spanish, yeah.
Yeah. This is really weird branding for our Mexican wrestling ring, just having everything in English. This doesn't seem to work at all.
I don't know, I'd go there. I mean, actually, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd like to go to a place.
You wouldn't want to go to somewhere called the Ring of Death.
No, I don't think I'd go there, actually. I take that back.
Yeah, that sounds bad. That sounds very bad.
Don't get me tickets for my birthday, please.
The Ring of Death.
Oh, what'd you get me for my birthday this time? Oh, tickets to the Ring of Death.
The Ring of Death.
It's gonna be great.
Love it.
There's only one. I'm not coming with you.
I'm going to Disneyland. You enjoy yourself.
Oh, that would be great. Anyway, I think we've covered the main forms of media that we consume. I don't know. I don't really consume other stuff unless you want to talk about like online articles, websites, maybe.
It's cool. I understand that that's primarily the thing I do as newsman. But yeah, I kind of covered that by saying I only read online.
Yeah. I don't like, to be honest, like those TV, film, and games are practically the only things I consume now, which is kind of weird. I mean, and obviously YouTube and like videos, but I don't know. I kind of count that as TV because you view it. I don't know. Well, you don't view it in the same way. I don't know. It's hard to.
If it's like it's like I would consider like Monster Factory to be a TV show because it's all usually between like 20 to 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
Or like a giant bomb thing. I almost consider that as like a TV show because they're like episodic. But if it's like, I don't know, writing on games or like a channel Chriswell video, which are more like video essays, then I consider those more to be like YouTube specific videos that I wouldn't find elsewhere. Yeah,
it's hard to categorize that. So I guess I kind of watch YouTube TV. Well, I don't like, if that doesn't count as TV, I watch TV online. Basically everything I do is online. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, same.
Unless like you count the cinema, but even that, like the last time I went to the cinema was for Star Wars.
Yeah, that was great fun. Do
it was good.
Do you want to tell the people at home what you did afterwards?
Bought popcorn.
after the movie.
Yeah, after the movie, I bought popcorn.
And what did you do with that popcorn after you after you went to see the movie?
I consumed it.
Where did you consume it?
In the street.
In the street.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just that type of guy, you know. Like I love popcorn. Like before I went in, I wasn't really feeling it. I wasn't that hungry, and then I got out and I was really hungry. And I was like, oh, I could just get some popcorn, and I got a large. That was kind of a mistake because cinema popcorn's like really salty, and I didn't have a drink.
It's one of my favorite things I've seen is just the look on people's faces as we walked past them, and then looking at you, being like, "Why does this boy have a thing of popcorn the same size as his chest?"
I'm just that guy, you know.
In the freezing cold, just walking through. I wasn't
paying attention to those people at all. I was just enjoying my popcorn, Ralph.
Hey man, you be you.
In that moment, I was just thinking about this popcorn and how tasty it was. It's good.
It made me laugh so much.
I'm glad. Yeah, it was a good film. It's a good film. But yeah, apart from that, like I've not been to the cinema since then. And before that, I hadn't been in ages either. I don't even know why. It's just I want to say effort, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, I guess
effort and money. For, something I could do easier. For less.
Like I will go to the cinema if it's something that I'm really excited to see.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
Like I will miss stuff like all the time. I will definitely miss stuff all the time, and then watch it at home and go, "Fuck! I really wish I watched this on a giant screen." Like I bet Godzilla was a lot better when he was actually.
Yeah,
50 feet
tall. There's some movies that like are just so, like, especially like very action oriented ones are going to be so much better in the cinema.
Yeah, it's like action, like big spectacle stuff, or things that I want to almost be part of a conversation on. It's like with this being like awards season, going to see Free Billboards was like a big thing I wanted to do. And unfortunately, Shape of Water still fucking isn't showing in cinemas near me for some reason, so can't go and see that.
That sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. But silly Americans and your weird rules on awards. But definitely want to go and see like the big contenders.
Yeah,
you should watch Free Billboards, by the way. It's fucking amazing.
Should I?
It's absolutely amazing.
I will definitely keep that in mind because both you and Aaron have recommended that film. So
yeah. 2/3 of this podcast say it's great.
Possibly 3/3.
3/3
at some point. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, come back to us with an update when you see it.
I will do. I will definitely do that. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed this very much.
I've enjoyed this very much.
I'm glad. Did you enjoy it as much as watching me eat my popcorn in the street?
No, I've never enjoyed anything quite as much as
okay.
watching you walk into a very cold winter's night with this just giant bag of popcorn.
Okay, we still got to beat that record then.
Yeah, just walking around our capital, just happily eating this popcorn while thousands of people are freezing around you, trying to get home.
Man, that was a good bus ride. Anyway, we've talked a lot about TV today, and that's good because for next week's Munch Media, which will be a full Munch Media, we will be talking about TV more in depth.
Yes. I finally,
stuff.
Sorry for interrupting, but I finally get to talk about the TV show with prostitutes that I've been talking about since episode 1.
Yeah, people have been on the edge of their seats for that one, including me.
Writing in asking me about this, and I'm like, nah, wait for next week. And finally, next week is the next week. I get to finally talk about it.
Do you know what? You're making me want to delay it another week.
Don't do that.
It's building the tension.
I'll forget all the character arcs as soon as you do that. No.
I think that's maybe for the best, Ralph. Are you going to emotionally scar us with this show?
No, it's a very upbeat kind of sort of upbeat. It's sort of not upbeat.
You can be upbeat about prostitution. Okay, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, in a way, it's complicated. it's all very complicated.
This has been Munch Media. It has been a mini munch on consuming media. I've been Joe.
Mini munch, mini munch, mini munch, mini munch, mini munch, mini munch. Oi.
Pigs, and we'll see you guys next time.